Hey everyone, Joe Williams here from Bluedog Wire Strippers, and today we're going to be taking a look at the BDG-Compact-Mini-1 Granulator with conveyor. So this is the unit right here, small compact mini granulator. You can fit it in your garage, very easy to use. And one of the key features on this machine is it's actually a 220 single phase motor. So literally you can run it off a generator, you can run it at your home. It gives everyone the capability of granulating now. So one of the things I wanted to accomplish in this video is showing you how it works in real time. There's a lot of videos on the internet that show it just spewing out copper, but that's not really a real indication of how this machine operates. So over here, we have standard household wire, just electrical wire, some Romex, some various things, common things you would find while you're out there in the scrap world. We're gonna feed them into the machine and show you how it works. So, let's get started. First, let's turn the machine on. So, I already had this running, so it started right away, but normally when you take it off the emergency stop, you're going to see the voltage right here, and then you're going to see the two variable frequency drives lit up, and then you're also going to see the chopper, the dust collector, the bottom blower, as well as the vibration shaker table. So let's kind of turn this on first. We're going to turn on the chopper first. Chopper's operational. We are now technically starting to granulate. External shaker table, bottom blower fan, and now the vibration table. You'll see the variable frequency drives are now starting up. So this is a virgin setup. There was a little bit of material in the machine. We're just gonna let it go for a second and start feeding it. So let's start feeding a few pieces. Got some 14 and 12 gauge right here, multicolored stranded wire. Let's start feeding it in. Oh. I'm turning on the bottom blower right now to try to adjust it. What you want to do is get a balance between the bottom blower and the shaker table. Once we got a balance on the internal shaker table, then we'll start feeding it in. And when I mean balance, you don't want to have any of the plastic coming out the front. You want it going out the rear. And you're going to be adjusting the blower rate accordingly and the vibration. There's a black art to it, but eventually you'll figure it out if you buy one of these machines. Okay, so let's start sticking this in. So you can hear that it's being chopped up into little pieces right now. So I'm turning down the blower fan, and that's going to help get the material coming forward now. I got some Romex cable here, old paper coated stuff. You can start seeing copper is now coming forward. As I said, this is a real-time demonstration. We've got a coffee thing coming. Just keep going, keep going. Now look, we're starting to get copper coming out. Look at that, that's beautiful. If you see any plastic coming in the front here, you want to turn up the blower fan with the VFD. So you can start seeing copper is coming out of the machine. We're now going to be feeding in some more. You notice that didn't actually touch the blades. We're going to put in some more and it will sink down after I'm done. Again, if you see any plastic particles coming up there, you want to turn on the blower fan. And you can see how fast the copper is coming out. This is working really well. It's chopping it up into the small granules. It's quite nice. So if you look on this side, it's going to be your small strands, and on this side it's going to be your large granules. There's two layers on this shaker table. So there are a few pieces of plastic that are coming out the front here. If they do make it down here, you just want to pick them out. It's easy enough to do. And if you want to try to avoid it, make sure that you turn up the bottom blower fan to push it back. When I feed it in the machine, I kind of smush it like this. It seems to go in the best this way. This is Romex right here. Let's put in some more. Now you can hear it's actually hitting the granulator. It's important to note when you are feeding the machine, you don't want to overfeed the granulator because it's only a 4 horsepower motor. It can only take so much material at a single time. This machine is technically rated for 25 to 50 pounds per hour. If you buy one of these things, you're going to know how it operates after a while just by the sound you're getting from the actual chopper. So you hear that chopper? That means that we're going to be getting some copper soon. So we want the material to come forward. I've turned down the blower fan accordingly. Now you're going to see the material coming forward. Again, it's a real-time demonstration. getting some more wire ready. Again, when you're feeding the machine, you want to make sure that it's kind of fed in like this. You don't want it all noodly going in, because the blades will chop it more efficiently when it's straightened out like this. More Romex. All right, that was a jam. Now we're gonna have to unjam it. That was too thick a piece to feed in. So let's check that out. So to do that, there's a little screw back here. Normally it should be tighter than that, and then the front pops open like this. This is inside the actual chopper. So nothing bad happened there technically. I just overfed the machine. So you need to be aware of this if you buy one of these machines, that you don't want to overfeed it. And again, you're going to end up with like a certain balance of knowing the machine the right way. Right there, I was pushing it too hard. So now we have to clean this up. I already have a bin here ready to go. Let's just pull out this material and we can feed it back into the machine. Again, this is a real-time demonstration. I want you guys to have an idea what it's like operating this. So you can see all the fine granules that are in there. Best method that I found, if this does happen, is you want to have like a little vacuum cleaner ready to go. Let me grab the vacuum. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. So none of that's actually going to waste. We're sticking it in this bin and we can run it through the machine again. And after this does happen, the most important thing to make sure is that the actual drum will spin freely. So again, it's only a 4 horsepower motor. We're just going to pull out the excess material here. And again, this is actually really good because it gives you a practical, realistic demonstration how to operate the machine. And this is now showing you inside the chopper so you can see what the blades look like. So again, this is not going to happen if you don't overload the drum. And if you spend enough time with the machine, you will know when you've reached that point. So again, down here you can see the sieve. When you purchase the machine, it comes with a different sieve. This sieve actually controls the granules that are let out of the chopper onto the bottom shaker table. So for different materials, you may find it more advantageous to change out this sieve. So the drum, just a little bit more. Pull that material out. So now you're starting to see what the chopper looks like. Basically there's think 1, 2, 3 blades on the main rotor here. The blades are trapezoidal, made out of D2 material. These are the side blades, and basically when the material comes, it cuts right at this point here. These blades are also oblong, so you can resharpen these blades, and if you have to, if they become dull over here and you lose material, you can actually push them forward by loosening these bolts. So let me just clean up the rest of this machine, and we'll get her working again. Okay, so how will you know when this is ready to be shut again? If it spins freely, like this, in both directions, there's no material that's actually blocking it, you're ready to put the hopper back down again. One thing I want to note too, while we've got this open, you want to make sure that you do put grease on these bearings here. They're a special high temperature grease. You're going to want to do that probably once or twice a month to make sure that you have efficient maintenance and operation of the machine. So let's put the hopper down. Okay. Again, there's a little bolt clasp on the side here. I'm just gonna tighten that up. Okay. Put back the controls. That's it. It's working again. Just had to reset the controls there. Now material will be coming out again. So this was the material that got stuck inside the machine. We can actually feed this back in again. When you're operating this machine, make sure that you wear eyes and gloves, and you never want to stick your hands in the hopper, ever. Make sure that you're putting in long enough pieces that it actually gets down there. Now you can start seeing more copper is coming to the front. Right now I'm turning down the bottom blower fan. The copper material should be coming forward now. There it goes. That beautiful copper. the odd piece may end up in here. It's easy enough, you could just pick it out. But if you have the blower fan set the right way, it should sort. And here's one of the key features that you need to know about granulating. When you're feeding material in the machine, you want to make sure that you're feeding the similar type of material. Then you don't have to mess around with these settings that much because it'll already be preset to handle that material. Right now we're feeding thick and thin and different types of things, stranded and solid, and that means that there's going to be a little bit more differentiation the way that the blower fan and the shaker table react, which means you need to keep an eye on your material. Again, you started seeing plastic coming up to the front here. I just turned the blower fan up. Some Romex 14 gauge. Turning the blower fan down so material starts coming forward. Now you can see all the material coming forward. Look at that. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, there's a piece coming. .14 gauge again. Someone was nice enough to bring us some coffee there. After we're done this demonstration, we'll enjoy it. So I'm just cutting this down to make sure that it's more efficient to feed into the hopper. Again, you don't want to overload that hopper. Look, we're starting to amount to quite a bit of copper down here. Look at this. More Romex cable. a lot of copper. Turn down this blower fan, it's going to come much faster forward. Look at that copper coming out. So that piece here, that's too big. I wouldn't feed it into this machine. I would definitely cut this down before you feed it in. We also offer some cable cutters. You don't have to do this manually. You can check them out on our website. Right, so that was a video showing the BDG-Compact-Mini-1 Granulator with outboard conveyor. It's an awesome machine. You can see, look at how much copper we did down here. There's quite a bit of copper. So again, this side is going to be for your small strands. That's going to be for your big granules because this outboard conveyor is a two-layer conveyor. So who is this machine designed for? This machine is designed for any of the home scrappers out there. You know, if you've got single phase power at your operation, this machine is perfect. If you're just into scrapping period and you have a bunch of noodly wire and you don't want to feed it into a mechanical stripper, this is an awesome unit. But let me tell you, this unit is also only 4 horsepower. So that means when you're feeding material into the machine, you have to be careful. You can't feed in big you know, snakes of copper and hope that this thing will chop it through. That's not realistic. I would say that this machine is really recommended for, let's say, 10 gauge and above. Yes, you could put in thicker, but as soon as you put in thicker material, you really have to be careful because the chopper, again, is only a 4 horsepower chopper. But with that being said, you have a lot of flexibility. I mean, all this home wire, no problem at all. You can run it through the machine. Again, the machine capacity per hour is approximately 25 to 50 pounds. That's a very realistic number. And also, when you're feeding material into the machine, make sure you have it sorted according to the material type. If you're running stranded, run stranded. If you're running solid, run solid. It's a lot easier in terms of dealing with the variable frequency drives here for the blower fan and the shaker table. So I guess the last thing, I'll just go over some key features on this machine. Again, this is a 4 horsepower 220 single phase unit. You have an emergency stop. You have your voltmeter here. This is going to be your chopper on off. This is going to be your dust removal, which has an external bag here. You can see the external bag there for dust removal. One thing I want to say about that too, if you start seeing little flakes of dust in the air, you're going to want to clean that bag out because that's where all the dust goes. So as soon as you see it in the air, you know that's full. You want to empty it. Over here is going to be your bottom air, which is controlled by this variable frequency drive. And this is going to be the vibration for your shaker table, which is controlled by this variable frequency drive. Again, copper at the front, plastic out the rear. Again, you can see from what we did there, all that plastic came out. And, you know, considering the price of copper these days, you're looking at like, you know, $4 or $5 on the Comex, plus it's probably just going to go up over time. If you don't want to spend the time unraveling this wire and feeding it through a mechanical stripper, this is an excellent option. So if you want to know more about this machine, I'm Joe Williams, Bluedog Wire Strippers. Give me a call, 866-901-2278, or visit our website, bluedogwirestripper.com. I'll set you up, I'll answer your questions, contact me, anything you want to know about this, I'll tell you. Thanks for watching this video.